You weren't expecting that. You look pretty.
Thank you.
Let me see, go like this. I just prayed.
Keep praying, dear.
Did you pray?
Always.
All right, everyone. It is Friday, May 15th. We're here for a series of detention hearings. These hearings have been closed to the public to be physically present in the courtroom by order of the Texas Supreme Court and the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. However, in keeping with the spirit of the open courts provision of the Texas Constitution, these hearings are being broadcast on YouTube. I will admonish anyone who happens to be listening on the YouTube channel that recording or rebroadcasting of these hearings in any shape, form, or fashion is expressly prohibited. Violation of this order by the court will subject the person to civil and/or criminal contempt. All right, Ms. Woody, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want that, your attorney, Mr. Adeniji, will let me know. Do you see Mr. Adeniji on the screen?
No, sir.
Okay, he is in, it looks like a blue and red striped shirt. He's waving his hand.
I can't see him.
Well, keep looking. It says Latif.
Oh, I see him.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent, Ms. Woody, and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. That'll let me know you want to say something. I will create a private internet chat room for you and Mr. Adeniji to talk. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Spence, what brings Ms. Woody here today for her 10-day detention hearing?
Your Honor, she's pending a VOCO. She was pending the hearing. We had our resource staff on 3/9. The recommendation then was to transfer to the REACH program. On 3/19, you passed her hearing and ordered a placement search. This search is currently ongoing. She was referred on 4/16 on a DTA for the offense of EM removal. She removed EM on 3/23 and ran from home. She was picked up in Dallas, transported over to Dallas County JPD, and then we transported her there. There were some strong concerns that she was at high risk for trafficking at the time. if you look at your offense report, the forensic interview was done on 5/4 of 2020, and the results are listed in that offense report. On 5/7, she was referred for an assault on a public servant, assault with bodily injury. These referrals stem from 2 separate incidents in the detention center. They have been referred to the district attorney's office, and she is set for court on 7/6 of 20.
All right, and those incidents back in the detention center occurred about 8 days ago, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, what says the state? Ms. Bell?
Your Honor, the state would ask that Miss Woody be detained. Office report and her actions in detention, she is a danger to the community, and she's a danger to herself if she's released.
All right, Mr. Spence, does Miss Woody have a parent or guardian present?
Yes, she does.
All right. Okay. Mom, what are your thoughts?
We've been having good conversations, and Monique's spoken with myself in regards of what happened in detention, and she was sincerely apologetic about it, and she owned up to her mistakes. And I told her to keep that effort up and to remove all the negativity that she has around her. So I've just been working on her with that.
Last time she got to go home, she cut her EM off.
Yes, sir.
So you understand my concern here, right?
Yes, sir.
What are we gonna do?
Keep praying for her and getting her the help that she needs.
Okay. You think if I were to release her on an electronic monitor, she'd cut it off again?
No, I don't think she'll cut it off again, especially if she's not having the temptation that she had in the past.
Okay. And tell me about that temptation.
When she connect with certain individuals, Monique is very gullible and to doing what her friends tell her to do.
And what are we going to do to keep her from that? Because the last time, I know she's supposed to be on lockdown, but the last time she cut her EM off, it was also in the middle of the lockdown. So the lockdown itself is not a good enough reason. Hold on, Ms. Woody. Hold on. Don't say anything yet. The lockdown itself doesn't give me enough confidence to release her to you. What has changed that should give me that added confidence?
What changed this last time, she owned up to her mistakes. Monique stated several times she wasn't raised the way that she's been acting, and she realized that what she's been doing is causing her to mess up her life. And I told Monique that those are her actions and that she has to own up to her actions.
Mr. Spence, if she was in a fight in the back 8 days ago, how did she get from level 3 confined to level 1-0 in 8 days?
Your Honor, that would be a question for detention. I wouldn't be able to answer that.
I have an answer for that, Judge.
Pardon?
I have an answer for that.
All right.
The question you just asked Mr. Spence.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The question you just asked Mr. Spence, how did he get from level 03 8 days ago to level 01?
She's had good behavior altercations.
Wait, one at a time. I can only hear one at a time, please.
She's had good
behavior.
So my response, Judge, it's a demonstration of the change she has accomplished. Just like the mom was just saying, she's feeling a complete turnaround in that short period. But it's a miracle, but it's happening, Judge.
How's she doing with her medicine in the back, Mr. Spence?
She's taking it.
Okay. Miss Woody, how are you adjusting to the medicine?
I'm not gonna lie, it's great. Like the other day, I was like, they woke up banging on my door, and usually I would get mad and yell, but I'm learning that I'm becoming a successful woman. You see what I'm saying? Like the things that I've been doing, like it wasn't for me. So like with the medicine, it makes me feel like I'm capable of doing all the stuff that I couldn't do before. Like it makes me feel energized. I talk to people more, and I figured out what I want to do as my career. So honestly, I feel like the medicine working better because I don't even get angry. It's more of a sad, because all the stuff that I did is like, I feel so much better. Like I can honestly say that the stuff that I was doing was wrong before I couldn't do that, but with this medicine, it makes me feel so much great. And I love being on it because it don't make me feel no type of way.
Mr. Spence, do you know when she started her new medicine?
It was, I believe, the day before her last detention hearing.
Okay. Okay. So that's about right. Okay.
And George, when we had the last detention hearing, she did say, even in that short 1 day period, that medication seems to be working for her. She said that to the detention hearing judge at that time.
Well, but in all fairness, between the last detention hearing and today, she allegedly got in a fight in the back and hit some other kids and hit a staff member. So not exactly perfect.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that within a day, she herself realized the change in the medication is what, but it's not that immediate. So it may not have really got into her own system at that time. I'm just making that point to say she's not just saying positive things about her medication now. She was even saying it when she couldn't even have seen the whole effect of that medication.
Miss Woody, are you working right now?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about your work schedule.
I work from 6:30 to 2:30. Every 2 weekends I'm off. I work this weekend and next weekend. My next off days are Tuesday and Wednesday.
And who would be available to supervise Miss Woody in the home if I were inclined to release her?
Shanice Robertson.
Okay, and tell me about that person.
That is my god sister. She's been helping me out since forever. My mom is sickly, so my mom can't physically be there. So Shanice stepped up and helped me out with my my kids, with Curtis and Moniece.
Okay, and Ms. Richardson would be physically there while you're at work?
Yes. Mike.
How old is she?
Shanice is 30.
Okay. What happens if you see Moniece go outside on the front yard? What are you supposed to do?
I'm calling the police as soon as possible. Moniece know I don't have any problems with having her arrested. And Moniece also know that I don't have any problem with letting Mike know any concerns that I have.
Okay. And are you also willing to talk with Mr. Adeniji about those concerns?
Absolutely.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
Since the last detention hearing, I think she's had a forensic interview, and the detective, they're looking at the possibility that she might actually be a victim. And that will transform the whole situation we are dealing with if they decided that's the route they're going to go.
Well, that goes to disposition, not to her detention.
Yeah, I'm just bringing the court to that to the attention of the court.
Well,
we're dealing with a potential victim here.
Actually, that cuts against you, because that suggests that if I were to release her, either somebody might come steal her or she might fall back into it. So I don't want to consider that, okay?
No. Judge, I'm not saying that whether to use it for me or against me. I'm just trying to draw the court's attention to the full picture. I wasn't using that for release.
All right, Ms. Woody.
Yes, sir.
What did I tell you at the last detention hearing?
What
did I tell you needed to do for your level?
Keep it up, stay on 1.0.
Okay. Now, you fell off 1.0 for a little bit, right?
Okay.
But then what did you do?
I got my level back up.
Okay. And what's your level today?
1.0.
Okay. So you did what you were supposed to do, correct?
Okay.
So what should I do?
Release you.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Now, I'm going to release you on the electronic monitor, but Miss Woody, it's because you kept your end of the bargain. Now I got to do what I told you I would do, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, if you cut that monitor off or you violate it, I'm going to issue a DTA and you're going to come back to Kimbo. How long should you stay the next time?
As long as I'm accountable for it, nobody should be able to cut their monitor off. So if I come back, which I'm not, you can do whatever you got to do, Judge Porter. I promise you.
All right.
And
Don't let me down,
Judge
Miss Woody.
Porter remembers what he says. Make sure you understand that.
All right, Miss Woody. Good luck
All
to
right.
both of you.
See you later.
I can't pick her up until 2:30, so I will be there after work.
That's good.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
My mom not here?
She's here.
All right, Mr. Sparks.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Sparks, this is a detention hearing to determine if you should be released from detention or ordered to remain. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want that, Mr. Adeniji, your attorney, will let me know. Do you see him on the screen?
Yes, sir. Can I talk
You
to
do
him
see
quick?
Mr. Adeniji on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this. I'll create a private internet chat room for you and your attorney to talk briefly about what you want to say. That way you can tell you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. No, I can.
All right. All right. Not yet. Keep your hand down for now. Okay. Ms. Blair, what brings Mr. Sparks back to court?
Your Honor, this is the one where Jalen and several other companions went for a joyride, going at least 100 miles per hour, and they struck a pedestrian. Jalen was identified as a driver by the other individuals in the vehicle. The vehicle was also found to be stolen earlier in the day with a handgun inside the vehicle, which was later used in a shooting near Berry Street and Stalcup around 1800s, in which Jalen and Anthony both admitted to being involved in the shooting. He is also pending for the following out of custody charges with their department for terroristic threat and theft of property, 25 to 30K. And he is set for court on May the 28th at 9:30. And also, Judge, if he's released today, he's pending a 2RC residential drug treatment. If he's released today, there is a bed available for him.
For him to go straight to TYRC?
Yes, sir.
Does he have a parent or guardian here today?
Mom is here.
Okay. Mom, what are your thoughts about him being released to go to TYRC today?
The step to him bettering himself. It's a step, it's a positive step forward. I'm okay with it.
Okay. And Ms. Blair, is Mr. Sparks level 1.0 in the back?
He's been on level 1.0 since May 12th.
Okay. What says the state?
Your Honor, based on the seriousness of the offense and the danger to the community, the state would ask that Jalen Sparks be detained.
Okay, Mr. Adeniji.
I would think that it's in the best interest of my client that since the YRC bed is available, he can only benefit from that pending the time that we go through the process. So sending him to TYRC is not sending him home. So, but he will benefit from the treatment there. So I will be asking if the court will let him do that as opposed to keeping him in detention.
All right. Mr. Sparks,
Yes, sir.
you want to go to TORC
Yes,
drug
sir.
treatment today?
Yes, sir. And I'm willing to do all the time I can do. I'm willing to do it.
Okay. Well, sounds like everybody but the state's on board with you going to TYRC.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct, Mr. Adeniji?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Well, then, Mr. Sparks, you are level 1-0.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to let you go to TYRC, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's the order of the court. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Great release to TYRC. Thank you, Ms. Blair.
Okay.
Mr. Peppers.
Well,
All right, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should be released to a parent or guardian or should be ordered to remain in detention. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you wish to have that, your attorney, Mr. Adeniji, will let me know. You were brought back to detention on a directive to apprehend for a violation of court order. Let me just ask you just two simple questions. First, do you believe it's wrong to lie to the court?
sorry, what was that?
Do you believe it is wrong to lie to the court?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And did you lie to your probation officer about where you were living?
No.
Okay, then you have just lied to me, which means you just lied to the court because you were supposed to be living with your uncle. And according to the information provided to the court, you were not living with your uncle and you were living somewhere where you were not supposed to be living. So based on your untruthfulness, I'm going to order that you be detained. And that's the order of the court.
May I say something?
No, ma'am, you may not. I've made my decision.
Judge, may I say something?
Yes, sir, you can object all you want, but I've made my decision.
And I understand that. What I was going to say, Judge, is the fact that he's a juvenile. He has no control over where he stays. So the court is basically punishing him for what he has no control over. He has a guardian, the mom. They are supposed to ensure where he stays. And that's why I believe CPS has been, notified. So if there's a problem with where he's staying, that is not under his control. And I believe that may be the reason why he gave the response he gave. He has no control over that, Judge.
Okay.
His uncle also was being evicted. He had no food. His electricity was off. This was like an emergency thing. And he only stayed for 2 days. And while he was there, my girls were not there at all. So,
All right.
And
Thank you.
Judge, may I add to that what the mom just said? I do not share mom's position that because of the emergency, mom should have called probation officer
I did, and I let her know.
immediately.
I did, and I let her know.
Okay, that's what I just want to point that out. If she didn't do that, then she can say that. But if she did that, then the probation officer has a responsibility to report or notify CPS as to where he can stay.
All right, Ms. Hicks, what's your response to all that?
My response is, I did not find out about that until later on that Monday evening, when he had already stayed there overnight, and the child told me he was at his uncle's when he wasn't. And when I told the kid that there was going to be someone at his uncle's house. He said, okay. And then when I told the mom, she stopped me and said, I have something to tell you. They didn't tell me beforehand that he was going to be at his mom, or he was staying at his mom's. It was then that when they found out that a worker was going to deliver something, that's when she was upfront about it.
All right. Court has made its decision. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Judge.
For how long would he be detained?
He'll have another detention hearing in 2 weeks.
All right, thank you.
And by the way, I can request for attorney's detention hearing once I clarify as to where I can stay.
Yes, sir, you may.
His
Thank you,
uncle
Judge.
got everything situated. He's got food and everything, so.
Okay,
With it.
I will speak about that with you.
Hello.
Scoot up just a little bit.
All right, are you Ms. Heron?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you move your chair a little closer to the computer for me? All right, Ms. Heron, my name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing recorded if you want. Your attorney, Mr. Adeniji, will let me know. Do you see Mr. Adeniji on the screen? He's waving his hand at you?
Yes, sir.
All right. You also have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, wave your hand like this. That'll let me know you want to say something. I'll create a private internet chat room just for you and your attorney to talk about what you want to say. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Ainsley, I know you're here.
It's me, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Victorson, you filling in? All right.
No, sir. It's assigned to me, but I think when the report was generated, it hadn't been assigned yet.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Victorson, what brings Ms. Heron to court today?
Well, she was referred in custody late last night by the Fort Worth Police Department for aggravated assault family member with a deadly weapon. The police report indicated that they were called out to the family's home on a domestic disturbance. And when they arrived, they met with the victim, who's the mother. And the story was that they were arguing over a phone charger, and she became physically aggressive with her mother, that her stepfather had to intervene and forced her outside of their couple's bedroom and locked the door. That's when they called the police. When the police arrived, they met with the family, and they said that during that altercation, Tybria had threatened her mother at least twice, once with a weapon. When the police officer asked Tybria about it, she said she did leave to go to the kitchen to get a weapon, but she refused to explain exactly what the weapon was, but did admit that she used the weapon against the door. There's also an out of custody referral from 2018 alleging an assault with bodily injury that involved an assault that happened at the school. The family was very cooperative with the police department and the SRO at that school. The police report basically said that two girls had engaged in a fight and that Tybria was the aggressor in that fight. There's more specifics in that second paragraph there.
Was that a misdemeanor offense?
Yes, Your Honor. It was an
Was
assault
the petition
bodily
ever,
injury.
was the
No.
petition ever filed?
No, Your Honor, we were never able to meet with the family to do an intake, so it was closed without intake. When she was referred last night, that reactivated that offense from 2018. Both of those will be referred to the district attorney's office for consideration.
Okay, just as a point of order, Mr. Adeniji, the offense report suggests that that prior assault occurred on April 23rd, 2018. So I will ask both you and Ms. Bell if the 2-year statute of limitations for misdemeanors has passed.
I would just say right now it's passed.
Ms. Bell?
Based on the preliminary information, it may have been, but I would want to do research since it was filed with our office.
So a petition was filed at some point?
Well, let me, Mr. Victorson, was it transferred to probation and then probation never transferred to our office? Or did we have?
If you can give me 2 minutes, I'll find that out.
Okay.
Let me short circuit that for all of y'all. Unless a petition was actually filed, there may be nothing to toll the statute of limitations.
No
Correct.
petition was filed.
Was or was not?
No petition was filed.
Hallelujah.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Adeniji, do you have a suggestion on whether or not the court should even consider that prior assault, or whether the court may still consider it as an unadjudicated offense, indicating a danger to the community as a reason to detain?
Now, Judge, the judge cannot consider non-existing offense. It's gone. Ms. Bell?
Well, Judge, do we even need to consider the 2018 offense, looking at the offense we have from a few days ago where a deadly weapon was used? The state believes, based on that aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, it gives the court grounds to believe the respondent is a danger to the community.
No, we're going to consider this one.
We are
I
considering
was
that
talking
one.
about that one.
I don't need the judge to consider that one to.
Okay, so we agreed.
Thank you, Latif.
Do we have a parent or guardian here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And who is that parent or guardian?
My name is Tawana Martin Fryer.
All right, Ms. Martin Pryor, tell me what you're thinking.
I'm thinking that Tabria needs to remain in custody because she does have a very, very uncontrollable attitude, and this is her. She's very aggressive, and last night I really felt threatened by my own daughter, and I don't feel safe for her to return home so soon after that incident.
Judge, may I ask the mom some question?
You bet.
Ma'am, is she on any medication?
She's not on medication, but I've tried to get her help. She pretty much hung up the phone on the psychiatrist because at the time that I tried to get her help, the psychiatrist had to do the phone call because of COVID-19. So she hung the phone up on the psychiatrist, but I am trying to get her help and medication.
Has that been the situation before this incident about issues she may have with her mental health?
Yeah, she has a mental health issue. She's had it since childhood, but I've seen her become aggressive with it. She has moved.
So Judge, I'll be asking for psych evaluation.
Okay, once that request is, well, we got to have a petition on file, and once that happens and you present the request, I'll consider it.
Okay, Judge.
For clarification, Your Honor, is that a psychological or a psychiatric?
Psychological.
Okay.
We'll wait and see what the motion requests.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Herron, have they explained to you the different levels in the back?
Yes.
Okay, let me talk to the young lady, Ms. Herron.
Yes,
Have they explained to you the different levels in the back?
like level 1, level 2, and level 3. Yes, sir.
Okay, and what is the best level?
Level 1.
Level 1 is the best. Okay, I want you to get to what we call level 1 outstanding for me, okay?
Yes, sir.
You do that, and then that puts you in the best position. That shows that you can follow the rules in the back. And if you can follow the rules in the back, then that gives your attorney, Mr. Adeniji, something to argue for a reason for you to be released, okay?
Yes, sir.
But right now, I'm gonna have to order that you be detained, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's the order of the court. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Excellent. Okay. All right, are you Ms. Farrand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should be released to a parent or guardian or ordered to remain in detention. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney is here, Mr. Adler. Do you see Mr. Adler on the screen?
No. Is
Okay.
ain't he here?
Well, let's focus on one thing at a time. I want you to find Mr. Adler first.
I don't see him.
He's got glasses on.
I don't see him.
He's waving his hands.
Oh, you want me to? I can touch it. I can touch the computer. All right.
Don't touch the screen.
You want me to press the arrow?
No.
I don't see him. I only see Miss Paxton, H.L. Bell, Latif P.H.
What's the next name you see?
Juvenile 1609. Juvenile's parents, juvenile. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I see him now.
Okay. Now, you have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, please don't blurt it out. Instead, wave your hand like this. That'll let me know you want to say something. I'll create a private internet chat room for both you and your attorney to talk about what you want to say. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Paxton,
Yes.
what brings Ms. Farrand back to court?
Your Honor, she has been here since April 16th after she cut off or attempted to cut off her EM. She is pending a total of 3 offenses now. She was first referred on March 20th for a failure to ID and engaging. That incident involved several teens taking things from racetrack, and she was one of the teens identified. We have another offense pending from March 6th, and that involved an assault that took place outside of a Family Dollar. Janiyah was identified as the person who attempted to rob somebody outside of the Family Dollar. And then
Judge, excuse me, I'm
Second.
sorry, Patsy, hold on. Judge, can you put me on with my client, but it doesn't have to be a breakout room?
Yeah.
Can I just say something to her real quick?
Yes.
Hey, stop doing that. Let Miss Paxton talk. You'll get your turn, okay?
He told me if
Stop
I
doing,
did that.
just hold on. Just let Miss Paxton finish. You'll get your turn, okay? Thank you. Okay, sorry, Judge.
That's okay.
And then there was a fight back in detention on the 27th of April. And Ms. Farran was involved with that fight. There were 3 females on 2. And one of the victims pursued charges. So she's got 3 offenses. We do have court scheduled for May 26th at 9:30.
And does she have a parent or guardian here today?
No, she had to work.
Okay. Mr. Adler, your thoughts?
Judge, just to bring the court up to speed, we were supposed to have an adjudication dispo this week, but the day before I received an amended petition, so we had to continue the case. I believe you approved that continuance.
Okay, yes.
So Judge, Ms. Paxton is kind of working behind the scenes, so we need to do a psychological, she needs to do a resource staffing, so there's a lot of moving parts still going on.
All right.
And just so the court is aware of that, and of course she wants to go home, but I don't have a parent or guardian there to even ask where she could go today.
And also she's at level 2 in the back, correct?
She is.
All right, you're doing better because you were at level 3 for a while and you're back to level 2.0, right?
Yes.
Okay, where do I need you to get to?
When?
All right, can you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not there yet. So I can't release you today. Meanwhile, if a psychological has not already been ordered, it is now ordered. And if either of the parties need any additional motions to be considered, the court will consider those to be here till 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be the order of the court. Thank you.
Judge.
See, I didn't even get to say what I had to say.
No, ma'am, you didn't.
Hi.
Hello, Ms. Cardenas. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should be kept in custody or be released to a parent or guardian. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. Your attorney, we're trying to get him on the screen.
Your Honor, may I say something? Ariana speaks only Spanish.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure you remember.
I'd forgotten. I apologize for that. Lo siento.
Está bien. It's okay.
Estoy esperando para su abogado.
Okay.
And it's my understanding that the caseworker is here, but I think she's on the detention side because they are here to pick her up as well.
Oh,
Yeah, if she's released. The last time that we were here for the detention hearing, she was present, the caseworker was, the CPS caseworker was, and she indicated that they were trying to find an RTC placement for her. They still haven't been able to, but they have plans to pick her up today.
all right. Mr. Beaver is here, but he's still muted. There he is. Awesome. All right. I'm going to let Mr. Beaver start. Well,
Okay.
first we need to admonish the respondent. Ms. Ross, if you will tell her that she has the right to remain silent.
Marina, tienes derecho a mantenerte callada.
And if you want to talk, Judge Porter will create an internet chat room for you and your attorney.
Si quieres hablar, el juez podría ponerte en otro cuarto con tu abogado para que puedas hablar con él sin nadie estar presente. Confidencialmente.
And that way he can tell you whether or not you really should say what you want to say.
Para que él te diga si puedes hablar o decir lo que quieras decir.
Okay. Mr. Beaver, bring me up to speed, please.
Your Honor, Ms. Cardenas has been detained since March 31st. Her mother has given possession, the parental rights to Child Protective Services. And Ms. Cardenas has been waiting for, I believe, about 3 weeks for a suitable location for her. One of the problems is, I think the main problem is her limited English skills. And that's why she has not been able to leave the facility. Now, I've been working with Ms. Davis from the CPS and also with Ms. Rojas and Ms. Smith from the DA's office. And it's my understanding that we have a good location for her, a place that, so she can be released today with the court's permission. And so she can more or less put this behind her. And I've been in contact, like I said, with Ms. Smith from the DA's office. It's my understanding that they're going to dismiss the case as soon as she's released. On text share, there's no petition, there's nothing filed yet. So we're just asking that the court allow her to go with CPS and be released from custody.
Ms. Bell?
Your Honor, as I cannot speak to the what Ms. Smith has talked about previously with defense counsel, I would defer to the court upon the release of this respondent from the detention facility into CPS custody.
All right, can you go down the hall and talk to Ms. Smith real quick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Smith confirmed that what Mr. Beaver said is correct. If she is released today, she will be dismissing the charges filed against Ms. Cardenas.
All right. Mr. Beaver, is it your recommendation that I release her to the care of CPS?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
That'll be the order of the court. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ariana, te van a dejar salir hoy en libertad. La trabajadora social ya está aquí a recogerte, ¿ok?
Buena suerte a ti.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
De nada. Buena suerte.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Mr. Beaver, thank you. I know that's a difficult situation to handle. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Have a great afternoon. Ayun Mas.
Hey, son.
Hey. All right, Mr. Barbee. My name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should be released to a parent or guardian.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there is something you want to say, please, please do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this. That'll get my attention as well as your attorney's attention. Do you see your attorney on the screen, Mr. Adeniji? He's waving his hand at you. All right. I'll create a private internet chat room just for you and Mr. Adeniji to talk. That way he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Lyde, what brings Mr. Barbee back to court? Because the court will note that you and I got to meet back in February, right, Mr.
Sir.
Barbee?
Yes, sir.
And you were placed on probation by me, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Ms. Lyde, why is he back?
Your Honor, he was referred in custody yesterday by the Arlington Police Department. He was, according to that police report, he was a passenger in a stolen vehicle at approximately 2:30 in the morning. Officers observed a white Nissan Sentra at a racetrack gas station. The driver made several traffic violations. They proceeded to stop that vehicle, and when they ran the plates, the vehicle was stolen. When Amarian was frisked for weapons, as all the occupants were, a small amount of a plastic jar containing a small amount of raw marijuana was found in his pants pocket.
Was it a condition of his probation that he not possess any controlled substances?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
And did he also have a curfew as part of his probation? I can't remember.
I have left the curfew up to his mother, Your Honor.
All right. And his mom is present, correct?
Yes,
Mom, what happened? What's he doing out at 2:30 in the morning?
I was at work.
Oh, and so he used this opportunity as a chance to go joyriding.
One of his friends picked him up, so yeah, he jumped in the car, not asking enough questions, obviously.
What are your thoughts?
He's been doing good. His probation officer will tell you, I'm flabbergasted. I guess his friend just came to pick him up. The friend mama said she didn't know the car was stolen. The car was at her house. for a few days. So she said she didn't know the car was stolen. And I didn't either. I didn't rode in the car too. He took me to the store. So I didn't know the car. He laughed. I'm sorry. He laughed. He made me laugh. I went to the store in the car. I didn't know the car was stolen either.
So what would have happened to you?
I would have been in jail.
And whose fault would that have been?
Mine, I guess.
Or maybe the person who let you get in that car unknowing it was stolen, right?
Absolutely. I would have been flabbergasted like, wait, what?
And how are you going to go to work and provide food and clothing and shelter if you're in jail?
For a stolen car. They're going to be looking at me crazy. Like, ma'am, you're 40 years old. You're still stealing cars. No.
Now, I may be wrong, but you don't look like the kind of person who might go around stealing cars.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right, so do you believe there should be consequences for bad decisions?
Absolutely.
So what kind of consequence should Mr. Barbee have as a result of this bad decision?
If he had a known, whatever you came up with would be fine with me. I'm in agreement. But seeing that the fact that not even the boy's mama knew the car was stolen and it had been parked at her house for 2 days.
Well, okay, then let's separate that out. Let's pretend he didn't know about the car.
Okay.
What about the stuff in his front pocket?
I agree. Maybe
so what should be the consequence for that?
Maybe y'all need to put him in rehab is what I'm guessing, because he tested positive for it. So maybe he needs to go to rehab.
Oh, he tested positive, Miss Lyden?
He did. He tested positive for marijuana, amphetamines, and methamphetamines.
Oh, no.
I thought the judge knew that.
You buried the lead, Miss Lyden.
I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Barbee, you knew the condition of probation. Number 1 up there, don't use drugs, right?
Yes, sir.
But I have evidence, pretty good evidence, that you did use drugs. So I'm afraid that if I were to release you today, you would be a danger to yourself. So guess what? Yeah, you're mad at me.
Don't do that.
You're mad at me.
Don't do that.
But
Judge, can I talk to him privately for a few seconds?
Yes, you can, but I'm going to go ahead and announce that you're detained, and that's the order of the court, and so we're done. But I'll go ahead.
I already know that, Judge.
But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go talk privately.
Thank you,
Everybody
Judge.
else, we're done today. Have a great day.
Appreciate you, Judge.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's going to create a room.
Bye, babe.
He'll create a room.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Seven and 51. Okay, so full forward. I would feel better. I'm sure I can, but I would feel better having a petition on file. No. It's just me. I would feel better having a petition on file. That way we've got it, an official record of it in the court's jacket. How are you? No. Go again.
Are you ready for next week, all the court hearings?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Man, there's a bunch of them.
We'll see how many actually go.
That's true.
Okay. When? Okay, so he's been on EM for 2 months.
Thank you,
No
Judge.
violation.
Oh, I'm done with my client in the special room.
All right, well then have a great weekend.
You too, Judge. Appreciate you.
The judge on the